welcome to another episode of Sketch Sunday with the Scrapping Studio. My name is Tracy Walker, Creative Memories Advisor in Des Moines, Iowa. And today we are going to be doing project recipe number 19. It was originally used with Leave Nothing Behind collection, which was to represent national parks or outdoor. It is on page 42 of this book, and I have the 52 Scrapbooking Project Recipes. This was a free gift with purchase last year. And we are going to use On the Farm as our collection that we're using. And so instead of having the canoes here, I've punched out some different colored tractors using our tractor punch. And so how I made this is I punched out the tractor punch in black shimmer and the color. And then the color one, I cut off the steering wheel, the little smokestack in the seat, and on the yellow, then mounted it onto the black shimmer. And then I cut the circle from the Cyclic Circle Border Maker cartridge. That circle fits perfectly here. And then for the little circle tire, I used the trio punch that has the heart. Looks like half moon, another small dot, and then that little dot circle. So that's how I created those. And so I created a whole bunch of them ahead of time. But here is the tractor punch. And like I said, I punched it out twice. I punched it once in the black shimmer and once in one of the colors, gold, green, or red. And then I just trimmed parts of the red off and then mounted it on top of each other. And that was the easiest way I could find to give them some dimension, is just layering those, kind of similar to what I've done with the truck border punch, which I love too. I love making those truck border punches. I have a whole pile of them that I made that I haven't used up yet. But just these cute little trucks like that. And I thought about using the trucks, but I haven't used the tractor punch, and so my goal is to use what I have. So these are going to be our base pages. So kind of I think it reminds me of honeycombs or chicken coop wire, because it's got some ziggy, it looks like it's got some, I don't know, it's not razor wire, but it looks like chicken coop. And then we need 3 papers. So the first one is going to be this wood grain, and it's punched out of the border, but we don't need it. And we're going to make sure which way I want the grain of the wood to go when I'm cutting for these mats. So that's number 1. Number 2 is these chickens. We're not going to punch, but I do need to make sure I pay attention to the chickens, and everything is going up and down for that, except for these I'm going to have to cut differently. I need to remember that because these are going across up here. And then the third one, I just had a scrap, and so I'm just using it that way. So that will be perfect. Let's get started with cutting the first one. So we're not punching the border, so all we're going to need is, I need to decide, I think I have the wood grain going this way. So I need to cut it at 3 7/8. So just about 4. And then in half, so 6. So that one is good, and that's a scrap. Number 2, we're going to do, first cut is going to be 3 7/8. And then cut those in half. And then this, so I need to pay attention to, I need it to be 4. Like this. All right, I gotta think about this. So if I do it I want this to be 2 1/2. So if I have it 2 1/2 and then I cut them into 4, it's going to do that. So 2 1/2. let's scrap, put this back over, and then make sure I just have the right 4 and just a little itty bitty. So that works out perfect for those. And then the last one is 4 and a 4th. Get rid of that. So 4 and a quarter. And we still have a scrap of that. And then 6. And we have all those. All right, let's start laying this out because it's going to take a bit to figure out the tractors. Just pull my sticky notes off. Make myself notes because I plan these out several in advance. Like I'll start planning them out and then I make notes so I know what I'm doing. All right, so they just have these going across. So they have them going 2 separate ways. All right, so that's a red. That one goes like that. And then I'll take a minute to green, red. Once I get the first row on, I will go off camera and get them all adhered. But you get the idea of, all right, so that's yellow. And we'll get them evened up. So then we're going to make a second row. So I want yellow, then green, then red. Goes that way. Let's go that way. Yellow. Oops. That one goes that way. Green. All right, so then one more row of, so that's yellow. Green. Red. Oops, got a little something else on there. So, and then this, and this goes on top here. I almost feel like it's kind of, they're floating. I don't know. Let's see. Trying to think if I leave them like this or if I put a strip of paper down the center. What's this? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Have that from there. So, all right, I'm going to adhere all this down and I will be right back. All right, and we are back. So what I ended up doing is I went in and looked at what I had for farm, and I have these borders that came with the farm collection that has grass and corn, sunflower, and wheat. And I thought, oh, this would be a good use to kind of have a division between the two. And I could still stick my pictures behind it. So I'm going to put this on here. And I try and get it as low as I can go on that side. And then we'll get these taped down. So I have this one in the middle because this one's a little bit bigger than the other one. Curling up. Matched up. All right. Like that one is crooked somehow. There we go. And then put this on here. I'm just running it along the bottom so I can tuck pictures in there if I need to. So these borders are not exactly the same, but it's like a continuation of everything. So, I think that looks really good. I was trying to decide if I was going to use these. Let's pull the book back out. Here it is. So it has on each side this, and I don't think I'm going to use these at all for that. And I'm trying to decide, like, do I need another, line division up there? However, none of those colors are going to work. And these borders are really wide, and I feel like I don't want to, they're kind of like commodity. I don't want to use them all up in one thing. Are these flowers, there's a fence. I feel like that's just way too much. What else is in this collection that we can cut like a strip? I don't know. I don't think the plaid would work. It's pretty, and I'm not a fan of the other side. Like, it's weird color red to me. Ooh, here is a green. Ooh, all right, let's cut a strip of that and see how that looks. Let's try. I think this is like 3/8. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. So the 3/8 is there's like this little lip, because of the gray mat, and then another little lip before you get to the half, and that's what I call 3/8. Let's put those up here just like that. Yeah, all right. Let's some adhesive on it. If I do this on my book, that'll be fine. I'm gonna go over the top a little bit, but not too much. I want to be able to, have my pictures in there. All right, let's do this one. And match these up. So I was thinking, like, for this, like a petting zoo, a state fair. I've taken the kids out to this farm that's I don't know, 30 minutes away from us. That it's a dairy, like a little small dairy farm, and they have cows and all that kind of stuff. And when the kids were little, I used to take them out there and like to see the cows, and they have really good ice cream. And okay, I like that. But I am going to take all the sticky part. So my technical term is de-stickify. Get that on there. Whew, got the powder going today. All right. And then get some foam squares going. I guess I could have used foam tape on this one, but that's okay. It helps me use. I like it when I use a sheet of something. Like it. I don't know. For me, it's great satisfaction to. I just used up an entire sticker sheet and I get rid of it. Like, it's a feeling of accomplishment. So if you can relate, please comment below. If you can't, I totally get it. It's one of those, strange things in life that either make us happy or that. Oh, this little chick's really cute. Let's put him right there. All right. I don't know if I need anything else right there. I feel like I might make a cluster on this side. That, and then I'm gonna put foam squares on that one. There we go. I put just like a very fine powder on the back of it. All right. And I have this partial and this little. And then, woo, there we go. Into the trash. Does anybody, I just throw them away. Some people use them as their, when they use their repositionable tape runner, using as a backer when they do that. I don't know. Does anyone use those for anything else than it's a tomato, maybe a piece of corn, like that. I don't know, maybe put a little baby chick right here. I'm going to foam square him a little bit. Let's get his sticky sticker off. And then using not the really high tape, or the square tape runner, or foam squares, I'm using the thin ones. There we go. And we can put baby chick right there. He looks so cute. All right, and so put that there, like put that there with, what else do I got? Oh, there's a little baby pig. So cute. All right. Put him here. Oops. And maybe make it a little bit straighter for that. And then maybe foam square him up a little bit. And I'm going to use regular foam squares on him. See if I can use this size. Oh yeah, that works. And then use a little one. So yeah, the place they would give you get ice. They had homemade ice cream, and you could get a tour and things like that. So we used to do that kind of stuff when my kids were little, and they have really, really good chocolate milk. And we used to just go out there for the chocolate milk. So, all right, let's pull out this. So it does look a little bit different, but kind of the same principle of I have the tractors full on the first row, one less on the second, and one less on the third, which is opposite of what they did. And then I went in and used this border from Layered Border Embellishments for On the Farm. And at the time of this recording, those were still available. And then we just added some stickers, kind of anchor this in, and then there's enough room for my pictures. Let's see what, kind of give you an idea. There's that size. Oh, no, yeah, that's not going to fit. So the 4x6s are going to fit. Now, one thing you can do, so there's a couple options. So we could do this size, and this size. And then if you're like, oh, I need a couple more pictures in, we could do some 3x4s. Let me get those out. See if 3x4s would go. Not exactly. If you trimmed them up, you could. Let's see what we could do. 3. Do something like get this like that, and you could do something like that. So then you're getting more than 4 pictures. So you got 4, 5, and then if you do 2 more, that's 6, 7. So I am. Let's see if I have more 3x3s in my little pouch. I sure do. So it kind of, you don't have to follow, exactly. I guess I use it as just a starting point, jump off, and then adjust based on. Sometimes it's just I adjust. Either I'll follow it to a T, or sometimes if I'm not in the mood to just figure it out, then or do something different, then I'll just follow it to a T. But other times I'm like, oh, I don't really love what they did, but it's a great starting off point, I feel like, for this stuff. So it is okay to use sketches and go to Pinterest and get ideas and be inspired, because sometimes you just have to look at stuff and you're like, oh, yeah, that would look really cool. But if I did it this way and doing it a slightly different, or you can copy exactly. Remember, it's about telling the story of your photos, not. I just ran out of small paper. Those are all regular tape runners for that. So I know I have some just right up here in my hallway. All right. If you lost me in back, I have a new whole pile of tape runner out of my order that just came that I haven't totally gone through yet. So, and I hardly use regular tape runner. Um, Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. It depends. If I'm welding stuff together, I'm definitely using regular tape runner because it's easier to weld things. And welding, I mean, like if you're using different sizes of papers and to make them into one sheet, and you're not going to use like a backer sheet to put them together. I will just basically weld them together. All right, not there. Almost there. And once these in, I could put some more embellishments and stuff, but I feel like I don't want to put them over the stickers right now. So get this guy in there. So now you've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pictures that you could get on this. You also, let's see if I just saw them here. I don't know if you could, put a 2x2 down here. If you really, really had like one more picture you need to get in there, you could like tuck a 2x2 in there, but it fits, but it really doesn't. So I'm not going to put it there. All right. Let's pull this back out and stuck to the green paper. All right, so Leave Nothing Behind collection is an outdoor collection that kind of was an homage to national parks, state parks, that kind of stuff. And it came out a couple years ago. I think there is some of that collection left, like a few things, paper, maybe some stickers, that kind of stuff. But today we used On the Farm, and this used the canoe border maker punch. We used tractors, and I think it turned out really, really cute for that. So you could also, if you needed to, just thought of this. I'm looking for, here's a 3x3. Here's a 4x4. That's too big. I have 3.5 by 3.5 as well. But you could always cover this up with more pictures, maybe just like one on each side, so you still see the tractors, and you could mat that. So if you wanted, to fill up some more, if you had some more pictures to put on there. Once again, my name is Tracy Walker, Creative Memories Advisor in Des Moines, Iowa. If you love to hang out with a community of women who love to craft, make cards, scrapbook, digital scrapbook, we would love to have you join us at one of the events that I hold during the year. There are 7 of them, 3 or 3-day weekends. Those do sell out, so I will put the information below. I would make sure if you're interested in a 3-day weekend one to get registered as soon as possible. As I said, those one of my more recent ones was sold out with a waiting list. So I wasn't able to accommodate everyone on the waiting list, but that may not always be the case. So if you're interested, be sure to sign up as soon as you can. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Would love to hear your comments and see likes on my videos to help me grow my channel. If you don't subscribe, I would love for you to subscribe and get notified every time I post a video. I am doing Sketch Sunday for 2025. I think the way I worked it out, it would end at that like sometime in December. So I think the last week in December there isn't one, but that is my goal, to have one every Sunday, and I will have other video type videos intermixed with those as well. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day.